Well, howdy from Texas. Welcome to the Mission, and that's where he finds himself today. Top for this Austin Sprint, 3.4 mile breeze currently. No mandatory pit stops in the river by the end of this, but no chance. Wind is strong and it's changed direction slightly. Watch that as we head down to the start. The fans are getting baked in the sunshine, and here's our star sprint, 19th on the grid today. Houston sprint this time last year. Ahead of these two, lying high, Kimi Antonelli missed the top 10 by 6 milliseconds ahead in sprints. Carlos Sainz starts 7th. He was one at since he was 4th on the grid here in 2013. Austin pole, Hulkenberg for me, Martin Brundle, the star.
Points available for the rest of this season, 8 between Verstappen and the two McLaren drivers. 4
if we get a few skirmishes. How do we sort out
the inside? Of course, you've not got enough steering log and out accelerate them down the hill. You can't. The track is wide up there as well.
They're all on the medium compound tyre, which is the soft tyre will be too soft, the hard tyre.
Since Hungary probably, back in the summer, their aerodynamics and got that sorted out, but a very difficult day yesterday, out-qualified by the customer. A dismal day for Ferrari, they'll hope to put right.
His teammate, and he's got Max Verstappen alongside him then.
Well, turn up, you've got one session, dial it in, sprint racing. There have been 22 of the sprint races.
Hulkenberg in 4th. And we get two
bit of tyre management going on in the early stages, but there's a lot of jeopardy here. 8 down to 1. It's not a significant up for grabs. Plenty of time to open up. He's 99 points adrift. Seem to be those on the
a little bit, but will they be too cool by the down the main straight, the 40-meter, and we've seen it in the past.
What a great shot.
Americas, it's the Austin Sprint, ladies and gentlemen, and he's already alongside his teammate and spins Norris round and makes contact for the cars as Verstappen goes clear.
Both Tsunoda damage, he's got a wing tucked under.
Repercussions, it's the worst possible. Front wing goes flying off the Sauber.
I don't think there'll be any repercussions at McLaren.
And what it has done, it's left Max Verstappen in the Hamilton 5th, Tsunoda up to 6th side of the track, Albon 7th, in that first corner carnage that is stranded down at turn 9. Season that the Constructors' Champions McLaren.
You'd always be concerned about any shock loading.
Aaron Pitwell, Zach Brown, who will try and get us, but their race has been run. Here, safety car is the 500th Grand Prix. The 6th, first time we saw it on the track, was in Spa ahead, and then it all unfolds, Martin.
Yeah, with Hulkenberg and a corner drama in Formula One is as Norris covers the inside, leave him. And I must say, almost inevitable.
Because Fernando Alonso was there after making. He is not at fault at all. There's nothing he could.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
That's going to need into his teammate and no chance to stop.
I'm out. I'm sorry.
A pretty stand. You can see there just the car be running low.
That's Gasly and Behrman trying to make down on the McLaren pit wall. Zach.
Neither of our drivers to blame there.
When you say amateur hour by some drivers, not
drove into Oscar, and he had
move cutting back, but that
the rest I don't know.
That was a great iron.
Lap after his teammate made it back into the parent hospitality. His race has been ruined. And Max Verstappen in Texas, the man who has won from pole, and both McLarens out of the race. George Russell, Charles Leclerc from 10th from 18th up to 7th, and Ollie points for the lead. And now the battle will resume.
Now Max Verstappen becomes the safety pretty early.
He's gone pretty early. George Russell to hang on here to the back of that Rebel, and Max as we power down the straight, down towards turn 1 this time.
And no drag reduction system.
A chance to scamper off into the distance, closest wing of his teammates Ferrari. No to racing incident, no need to look into it any further.
The Mercedes of Russell, so it would be somewhat surprising.
But he's getting a decent slipstream down that back straight, in very close contention too. They stream by more than a second.
No, you're right. It's want to manage his tyres in this early.
I mean, the one bonus of that safety car, it's taken 5 that leads this race, so the gap's still under, and that'll come in very handy if you're Kimi Antonelli. That'll of the Red Bull. Max Verstappen with George through the end of next year at the very late. Well, they're running 1 and 2 at the moment, and George is kicked up from the car in front. And George Russell,
as he's got now the rear wing open, down the wing open, just keeps you in touch. But
there goes Kimi Antonelli on Pierre Gasly, nuts of a second behind Max Verstappen. Down, seems at the moment that Russell's just
charging his battery, getting the state of charge corner. That will give Russell quite a lot of... Max.
No, we saw that right at the start after the safety, familiar, doesn't it? That was the podium from the Azerbaijan sprint race here in Austin. He's won it from... Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc has... And there could be a bit of investigation going on.
He'll get ever closer to the Red Bull. As off the track, they both go off the track.
So way back, George Russell there.
Yeah,
it was off.
I believe he has to do so.
Yeah, shades of went off the track, went past Max. His signal in the back of Max Verstappen's mind that
turned his cards over there, didn't he? So Max knows down the back straight, and plenty of back.
What is that? Leading this to corner.
Big dive, and then the thing with
12, and he kind of made his mind up late that he was going.
Because as soon as you put some angle in, great attempt to take the lead. Frankly,
he's within 1 second by the end, and there goes Leclerc looking for the old switcheroo, then gliding through the turns, but managing to stay.
As a teammate,
Ferrari chair, team principal, and the rest of the team.
Investigation for forcing, okay, he just penalised that because that's motor racing. But
just taking a bit of performance out of those tyres. He got to go for it, but was that actually
opportunity? And Max got leading onto the straight. And it was clear to no further.
He already got a 5-second penalty for forcing another driver off. Still in terms of a penalty here. 1.5 opportunity. Sainz is third. Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc is fifth.
Really? Over here.
He's saying it's not riding the bumps, but we have seen it. The McLaren team is realising tomorrow, but I don't think...
Wondering why there are only 17 cars on the track. Making contact with his teammate Lando Norris. So with a puncture out, it was a huge championship points to close that gap down. Sizable advantage, 336 points whittled down, race by race.
At the back of Norris, and he won't score anything in his own business.
On board with Lewis Hamilton. Leclerc, he went off the track. He was about 9/10 of a second back, but then we saw Leclerc.
And a big chance of punctures in play.
Lawson stays on the track. That looked pretty nice. Now, Lewis Hamilton, last inching ever closer to that magic walk at the moment, aside from Max Verstappen. Tyres with that lockup we saw when he
didn't quite pay off, but suspension on these cars, then you stop getting grip from it.
15th place and ahead of the Sauber. Could have been a Agile, just slams the door on him. Karin Chandok.
So we saw him run over Hulkenberg's front wing. Seems to be okay, so he should be on for some more. Let's try and catch Carlos Sainz.
And only goes down to 8th place, just to remind you if you're new.
Position, Yuki Tsunoda scored on for a 2-point finish here. He's pretty much checked out in front, but George Russell not able to...
It's at turn 12. So it looks like 12 on with Max. Should have really
strikes, and then
way to start the day, but yeah, I need to
race. Ollie Behrman and Kimi Antonelli too. Behrman just stays ahead.
Behrman watching, and Mercedes will be on the blower about.
On with DRS as well. He's coming at Ollie Behrman. He's probably very glad he didn't think about down the inside.
Horses off the road. Mercedes will say we stay do about it, if anything.
What would you do if you're Anton and you've got two drivers that have collided?
Get for Max Verstappen. He's driver A. Just cancel that.
Kimi Antonelli catching safety car infringement for Charles Leclerc. The closing stages, no further action there. Between the two rookies, two former teammates.
And I fear Ollie will...
now, and stop any stewards in the
place back just before the DRS.
Cat and mouse at all times. Carlos to it, but that is Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll. 3 wheels now.
Park it, Lance. You're not allowed to drive
a car, as Martin said, in an unfit, unsafe...
Towards the end of a season when they're developing their 2026.
The Haas and the Aston Martin. Long way back, Lance Stroll goes for it, and well, Lance Stroll's just spearing into the sun.
He was so far, but he's saying sorry. Look, he was so old expression, a day late and a dollar short. That was definitely on the inside, but he was
as the driver that's chasing.
Halfway into it, Lance realised it was late.
So for Esteban Ocon, it's a sprint here in Austin, finished 5th. Time cancelled, I think, at Aston Martin, stopping earlier on to avoid suspension.
It's not difficult to do the chassis as well.
Yeah. To be had in the Grand Prix, of course, but of 19, this is looking increasingly likely that we'll...
Saying, look, where you are with Hamilton, this might finish this weekend, Crofty, and I'm not sure how many spare an eye on that, but crikey, what have these guys been doing?
Well, you know, every point is precious, every...
Does it?
They're rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah.
It divides opinion, but yeah, we want to see racing.
Take risks, and we back off part way into the sprint. Are driven. They're just driven people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
stage. Stuart Brundle in the commentary box has already...
Is that a Texan saying risk it for a brisket? Or
And you were. But look, the
crane that off, or might we get a one?
Martin, and I can't. And TB by the side of the track.
Yeah.
So in the next half a lap, we're going to finish behind the safety car. One last lap shooter.
So they've got a few more.
So down the inside goes Kimi Antonelli. Back on and be almost...
That was as crystal clear under the...
Actually, caution is the best way forward here. Though for Max Verstappen then, it's the familiar sight of the rear about that too much, because the threat from behind.
Yeah, Ollie, unfortunately,
he was run out of road, but Antonelli had got his the front axle ready going around the outside. That is the driving guidelines. You know,
Drivers, he'll be 33 points behind rounds to come after this weekend. 3 race weekends.
Make that 49.
A few mirrors a little bit, because the T-Rex ain't slowing.
Stick them on pole, try and win. They've got a fast car.
For the end of this sprint will be identical to the podium from the Azerbaijan. Drivers went wide. Max Verstappen after that, the Red Bull pulled away. The Americas can look at the checkered flag and say George Russell comes home to take second place. Super move on his teammate Charles Leclerc midway through.
I think that's
So you can change your car, and is that Red Bull today looked
points between Piastri and Verstappen with 166. Was it the only chance?
Using a lot of battery, hadn't he, and using his tyres. Used to say, if you don't go for a gap, you're no longer.
For Carlos Sainz, then he does move into the top 10 in Shanghai, and Charles Leclerc finishes 5th. Yet tabs between now and the checkered flag, just a bit. Well, he hung.